so impressed with the league, and I think I said this when I first got here. At one point, the Ivy and the A10 were both around 12th or 13th in the country as leagues. The A10 is now 7th. And I remember the first game, St. Louis, I'm like, wow, really good team. And then Davidson, different challenge, really good. You mentioned Duquesne, and we're on the verge of going 0-3. And Glove hits that crazy one to put it in overtime, and then we win in overtime. But I'm still thinking, is every game like it's going to take every bit of effort for us? And so I do. I'm always thrilled for these guys because they put in such great work for this, and the staff has done. And yeah, I feel great, but this is what you play for, to get in this position, to win 3 games in March and get to the tournament, and that's where my focus is for now.
Coach, there was a moment in the game where it was 67-64, and LaSalle went on a really big run. Following that really big run, what was going through your players' minds and your mind in that timeout?
I go back again. If it was 2 months ago, even before the season, the preseason, we fold. That was my biggest frustration. So I wasn't fazed by it anymore. I'm not fazed that there's times that we're not very good on offense. Rarely is there times where I think we're not good on defense. I mean, it's rare. And since January 1, the nerd in me, Bart Torvik, we're 13th in adjusted defense. 13th in the country. We're best in the league. So when they do those runs, I feel strongly that we're going to figure this out. We're going to get stops. We're going to get in transition. Derek's going to get the ball. We're going to make plays.
Steve, there's a lot of excitement from the fan base going into Pittsburgh as a number 3 seed with a double bye. There are some observers who are saying, well, it doesn't matter because VCU and St. Louis are so good. Anyone who plays them is going to struggle. What is your mindset going into the tournament and your expectations, and maybe a message to the fan base that is so excited?
Well, I appreciate this. All the places I've worked, no one cares about basketball more than St. Joe's. I feel it. I hear it. My thing is, like, as a coach, I'm going to figure out who we play. I don't even know. We'll dive into what is needed to be successful in those games and that possessions and what they do well, and I get lost in that. That's my responsibility. Everybody else. But I will say this, these guys are going to be ready to go. Like, I'm not like, will that phase us? Will that intimidate us? It just won't. We've been really good in every environment, every challenge, whether it's on the glass versus Davidson, it's whatever that challenge is. I feel confident even against the better teams in our league that we're playing our best basketball. We got a chance to compete very strongly for our championship.
Coach, the shooting from the first half to the second half was a dramatic difference, and you had a lot more free throws in the second half. What was going on in the locker room to be more aggressive and also just being able to hit those shots in the second half to really pull after the lead?
Well, they switched it up. They were really switching their defenses a ton in the first half. And they did some in the second half, but I thought we were playing on our heels. And you got to play on your toes. You got to attack. You got to play with pace, even in the half court. I thought we did it in the second half, where now they don't know to switch. Should they switch? Do we have an angle for the hoop? And when we felt that, I thought we really read the defense well. But most importantly, just be very aggressive with your attack. When we do that, we're a good offensive team. When we get tentative, when we settle, we're not good.
Coach, I'll ask you the same thing I asked both of them. After the Fordham loss, you said your best teams going into March had something that gave them momentum into the last stretch of the season. What's giving you momentum on your 6-game win streak? What will give you momentum into Pittsburgh?
I am a believer in that there's some way you got to trigger, for all of us, momentum to do your best job, to do your best work. We took a few days off during that stretch. You got these practice jerseys, and they're new and number one. Everybody has number one. We're all the same. Let's take what we've done and buy into it even more. Prioritize winning over yourself to another level. And that's kind of what you saw over the last 6 games. Each game's had a different story, but I think the foundation is that they really figure it out for each other. Could be unselfish play on the offensive end, competing on the defensive end. It's not like one guy took over. It's been a cumulative effect, and I give the guys credit. Like, we push them, coaches push them, we have an incredible staff, but that's comes down to those guys wanting to take that next step. Now like when you go through this, you feel it. It's not like an intrinsic feeling you have. Like, we know we're good, and now let's go.
Winning 21 games this year, and you got off to a slow start. Were there moments and times where you think to yourself, 20 plus wins might not be possible?
I don't know if I felt about wins and losses. I've been through a lot in my career. I always had a sense that, because I saw this group from the outside, and I said, like, if I could just get this group, like Derek touched on, how'd you go every drill? How'd you go in the weight room? How you come in and out of games, and how you compete every single aspect. If we could just raise that level, the talent, the type of people they are, will show and rise to the top. I think that's what I was concerned. Yeah, I'm concerned because I don't know these guys that well. Like, can we do that? I thought there was a path, and they obviously have done that.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.